Today I'm going to talking about some books I got from charity shops. Got some really good ones. Just great going to charity shops. I've had to start going to charity shops now because I have no space on my wardrobe, on my bookcase anymore. And I don't have enough space on my floor. So yeah, I need to start going to charity shops to get books because that's not really the reason. The reason is also I don't want to spend more money on books than I need to, and also it makes me read things I wouldn't normally try. And I also can get things that I really always been looking for but never thought, oh, I'll just buy that myself. So it's nice when it's right there in front of you and it's a really good deal and it's cheap. So yeah, and I've got some really good ones, some really ones that, yeah, they're alright, but yeah, I'll get talking to them. So the first book I'm going to be talking about today is one I picked up at a charity shop somewhere in, I don't really know where it was anymore, but it had a great Oxfam bookshop. And yeah, I got this. It's Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Great book, so I've heard. I haven't read it yet, but I've seen the film. But yeah, I've heard it's also a classic, and Leo Tolstoy is a really great writer. It's basically about Anna Karenina, who has an affair with this guy called Count Vronsky. Vronsky? Yeah. But yeah, she has an affair with this guy, and she's already married to this Russian imperialist called Alexei. And he basically gives an ultimatum and says, you can't see your son, and if you have this affair, and you'll be otherwise you can go into hiding with him and you can do what you want with him, but you won't be able to see your son. So she has to live out her affair with this guy, and yeah, it's good to see how it goes, because why shouldn't she have an affair with this guy? It's been not very good, her husband, and she doesn't love him, and she was forced into the marriage anyway. So yeah, this can be a good one. The second book I'm going to talk about is this one. So, I got this in the charity shop I worked at years back, and I absolutely love it. It's The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, and I just love the book itself. It's just a lovely cover. Look at this detail. I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, it's lovely. It's the binding back, and it's got this lovely inside with like a map. Oh no. So yeah, I absolutely love this book. I don't like the book itself though. I don't really like the story. The Hobbit I didn't really enjoy it. I found it really hard to read for some reason. I think it's just his style of writing, not for me. But I absolutely love the book, and that's why I keep it. And it also reminds me of when I worked in the charity shop. But yeah, I absolutely love this cover, and I still like looking at it, even though I don't like the story itself. No, I don't like the story. I just find the book hard to read. I think it would be a really good children's story though. So the third book I've got is The Old Man at Sea by Ernest Hemingway, and this is again a great book. It's also really good because it's really small. So when I've got a lot of work to do, I've just read this in like a day, an evening, and it was great because it was only 100 and some pages. 100 is that book? Sorry. Okay. It's 99 pages, so less than 100 pages. So yeah, it's a great little short story. The Old Man and the Sea is actually, well, it is a classic, and it's basically about this old man who's friendly with this young boy, and he's telling the young boy about his bad luck, and he's had really bad luck as a fisherman. He goes out to sea every day and he's not caught anything, and it's been 84 days actually since he's caught anything. So the man's name is Santiago, and this one day he goes out to sea, and you witness him on his battle to fight this marlin fish, and I'm not going to tell you whether he gets it or not because that would ruin the story. But yeah, it's a great book, and it sort of shows his strength, determination, courage, and it's just a really good book, and it just shows you that age isn't everything. And yeah, it's a good book. I just don't want to spoil it. A great book, and it's a good read because it's not really long. Yeah. The next book that I got, I actually found it at a hostel, not a charity shop, but seeing as it's like a hostel, yeah, it's kind of like a charity shop because you trade your books in. If you finish one, you put one down, you get another one. And I found this one in Thailand, in Koh Tao actually, when I was diving there a year or two back, and it's The Tattooist of Auschwitz, and I've been wanting to read this a really long time. I still haven't got around to reading it yet. It's by Heather Morris. It's basically about this man called Lale, and he gets sent to Auschwitz-Birkenau, which is a death camp and also a working camp before they kill people. But anyway, so he got sent there, and his job was to be a tattooist and to tattoo the numbers on the arms of everyone as they walk through the door. That would survive, well, not survive. That will basically put to work, so they would be numbered. And when he's in the queue, he sees a girl called Gita, and he is determined when he sets his eyes on her to save himself and this girl called Gita, and he knows what he's going to do. Any survival story that can get put down on paper for the Holocaust is really important, and it's great to see one come out in a novel book. I know there's many others, but it's just as many as possible should be known to the world, because these are really important things that happen to people. Yeah, another book I got was this, Zen and the Art of the Motorcycle Maintenance. It's by Robert M. Pirsig. I hope I pronounced that right, I'm not sure. But basically, I had a friend that told me about this a while back. He gave me his copy, but I didn't want to keep it because I didn't know when I was next going to read it. So I picked this up at a charity shop for £1. So yeah, bargain. I've heard really good things again about this book, haven't got around to reading it yet, but it's basically, from what I know, about a father and son that go on a road trip on their motorcycle, around Northwest America, and on their way they tell you about their journey. But you can read this in two ways, which I find, not even two ways, multiple ways I've been told. It's kind of a travel book as well, so you tell you about his journey and what they see, but it's also a philosophy book, a life philosophy book. A bit like how you get all these books now about how to do your life, but this is all done through a travel book and about a man's motorcycle and how he fixes it, repairs it, and how he believes you can live a better life, and how you should live your life. And I think it's really good philosophy. It's in itself, like, all through, go out travelling and see what you want. I know it's quite cliche, but I think it sounds really good. And I'm looking forward to reading it at some point. So yeah. Another book I found, I actually found it in my work library. My work now has a library. So I found this book, which I've always wanted to read, and I don't know why I just didn't buy it, but I'm quite happy I didn't buy it because I got this, Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. And again, on the back of here, there is a charity shop thing. This is 99p, so I wouldn't have only paid 99p if I did get a charity shop. I actually got it for free. It's a bargain again. So yeah, Catch-22. I don't know why I always wanted to read it. I think it's just because it's classic. It's one of those ones when I got into reading, like 1984, Brave New World, I really wanted to read, and this was one of them that was on the list, but I never got around to reading it. And it's set at the end of World War II, from what I know, and it's about this guy who called Hussein. Again, I hope I pronounced it right. My pronunciation is so bad. And yeah, Hussein, and he he wants to. He doesn't know whether to fly or not because he's I don't know if he's shell shocked, but I know it's a lot to do with mental health. But basically, he keeps saying about how he doesn't understand why thousands of people are trying to kill him, and he hasn't done anything. And I think it's quite. So I know it's a satirical book on the war, and I know it's meant to be quite funny and quite witty. And I don't really want to say much more because I don't really want to know much more about it because I quite like not knowing exactly what it's about. But basically I know that it's basically about him not understanding why he needs to go to war, because all these people are trying to kill him for no reason, because obviously it's not his fight, which is none of their fight. And he is caught in a catch-22 because he doesn't know whether he should go up and fly his bombardier, I think it's called, his plane, and he doesn't know whether he wants to. So yeah. The next book I got to the charity shop, I don't know why I ended on this book, but yeah, is Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. I like this. I actually read this on the way when I was in Cambodia on the way to Siem Reap. I didn't really like this. I did at first. I did like it because it was quick read. Again, it's not very long, as you can see. They're really short. Like they're only like 4 sentences, 2 sentences, or some even 1 sentence. Some of these poems. Actually, I don't even think they should be called poems. Some of them, they're not poems. You can see I'm quite ranting about it. I don't mean to rant about it because, like, I liked it and it's nice because I think for people getting into poetry, don't have much time. It's really nice because you can just get through it and it makes you feel positive, if anything. Especially for being a woman, and you know, she obviously went through a lot about her father and her, I think, her ex-husband. But yeah, and it's split into 4 parts. Which is here. It's called The Hurting, The Loving, The Breaking, The Healing. And the 4 parts kind of take you through as a story within itself, which I quite like because, yeah, it's like you're going through her emotions as you read the poems themselves. But yeah, I didn't really like it after I read it for about an hour. So I read it, thought, oh, this is really cool. It's quite, you know, it's quite a powerful message to send to young people, to young women, and to women in general. And yeah, and then I was just a bit like, well, they're not poems, and some of them are quite contradictory, and some of them don't refer really, it's like instructing people when it shouldn't be instructing people. So, for example, on page 172, it says here, accept yourself as you were designed. Well, some people don't like the way they were designed, so some people really don't want to be who they are in their own bodies, so saying that is just wrong. For example, if there's someone who doesn't like to, is a male or female and does not want to be that male or female as they were designed, they know they were designed wrong. So that's just wrong. And yeah, there's a few things like that in the book. I know she means well, she doesn't mean that. She just means appreciate your body and appreciate anything. And and at the end of the day, I would say, you know, I am seeing it in a positive light. But, you know, there's other things that don't really make sense and are quite, I think it's just too wide, basically. Like, they're not very specific, which is fine. But yeah, it's a good positive read for people who aren't looking for something that meaningful and looking for a quick read. And yeah, but I would recommend it to some people because I think it is really good as a positive thing and a good motivator. But if you really like poetry, probably not. Just get you angry because it's not real poetry. They're like 1 sentences. I wouldn't even got a grade for that if I did that GCSE, but yeah, she can write a book and get millions of pounds. So yeah, quite annoying. So that's it for today. I hope you liked what I found at charity shops. And yeah, and I'll get back to you soon with another video.